How late is it?
3 p.m. Wait, 4 p.m.
Alright, Unan's just gonna walk around town, until eventually going back to the priest bottle. Not going to them yet, but just taking an active look again, looking for stores that he might be able to persuade. This would probably be, because of how many times he's done it, touching on the last couple parts of the town. And then this town's technically done as far as he has to be concerned with the initial shop searching.
Yeah, roll me perception. Perception will be to find shops, potentially. I'm also throwing in there that you're talking to people, maybe learn about some shops that could be potential candidates.
Along with, as well, Aethys, he's summoning her to walk with him.
Whoa, you're casting magic in the middle of town?
Kinda? Casting in the relative sense of she appears, but not in the middle of town. He's gonna make sure he does it somewhere where people aren't watching, because he knows that's a no-no.
Alright, well, perception?
Aethys was fucking useless anyway. Unan got 24 with 20 on the die. Aethys got 8 with a 4. I was hoping that was going to be 2 high rolls, and she failed me.
Alright, well, after some time being spent looking around, Unan learns of 4 stores, Athos learns of 1. So a total of 5 stores have been, well, found that may be decent potential candidates. Which means you are going to need to roll 5 diplomacy checks.
My lowest would be 16, followed up by 18, 19, 23, and then 29.
Is your bonus by chance a 7?
12.
Uh-huh.
As long as he wears fancy clothing.
What'd you get from left to right?
You mean the dice?
Yeah.
If I go left to right, top to bottom, it's 7, 17, 6, 4, 11.
With your bonuses?
With the bonuses, 19, 29, 18, 16, 23.
Alright, well, you happen to, convince 4 of the 5. I rolled incredibly low, by the way. Like, the very first shop rolled a 1. The next 2 rolled 2s. The fourth one rolled a bit higher with a 9. And the last one rolled an 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you want to just wait to give me the names and what they are?
Yeah, I haven't decided which ones there are, because I think there's running out of town marketplace names at the moment that I have already set up anywhere. So.
That's fine.
Mark down.
This is the last time he's doing it here. I did. I marked down 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll probably send you the names or something and briefly maybe where they're located after session or tomorrow or something.
Okay. Nevertheless, though, then eventually Unan and Aethys will be making their way. I picked up Kaz. Will be making their way to the priest bottle.
Alright, so that's most of Unan's day gone then, meaning it'd be pretty much dinner time for him. Kaz, what are you doing for the day? Rest up, I should say.
Probably just gonna head back to the priest bottle.
At 4 p.m. and do what?
Probably get a meal and then write in his journal. He's been neglecting to do that.
Okay. Let's see, Kana went back, Sandeep spent time looking for a shop. Is Sandeep wanting to do anything else?
No, I think he's just gonna look around at shops and then also just, since he has the time, just do a bit of observation of the city itself, since he hasn't done too much of that recently.
Alright.
Get more familiar with the area.
Well, nighttime is approaching then. Is there anything going on in the priest bottle that anyone wants to roleplay? Kaz? Or Cardum, I should say, should be there by now.
He's just sitting somewhere, just writing furiously.
I will start heading back by now.
Alright, well, if something wants to be done to Taurus, then say so, otherwise nothing's gonna happen to Taurus, he can just go directly to the priest bottle. Same with Sandeep.
Oh my.
Assuming Sandeep's also returning at some point.
Yeah.
We might actually get to day 8, surprisingly. Speaking of day 8, what's everyone doing for day 8? I know Noah is doing knowledge history.
I'm also doing stealth.
Stealth with the Thieves Guild?
Yep.
Unan would probably be doing diplomacy, haggler test.
Stealth and climbing.
I think I sent you mine.
You did, but did that get pinned?
I'm doing identification spellcraft, as well as a haggler test.
No, I'll make it easy, and identification spellcraft and haggler.
So let's just say someone
Wow.
grew up at a shop and instead of learning to haggle through diplomacy, learned through intimidation.
I feel like they might kick you out if you started intimidating.
Intimidation is a form of diplomacy. I would allow it.
Fair.
Okay, because I'll be doing haggler and climbing.
So about making it easy, Marcus, do you still want to stick with spellcraft identification or haggling?
Both.
Wait.
I meant I'll do identification spellcraft and haggler diplomacy. Because I was also thinking of doing perform instrument, but then I was like, nah. Because he does... he does have a instrument, but he's not good with it. But no, I'll just do the same two that Tate's doing as well.
Alright, well, it is the night of the 7th day. Mostly everyone's back at the priest bottle. If not, they're going to be there in like 2 minutes or so. What's going on in there?
Kaz is eating, drinking, talking, just the general chatter, how the day's events.
Unan's gonna do his thing and try to figure out what the items are. Like, for very specifically what that skill is on the stone. On the ion sphere.
The space Carnum's taken is kind of a mess. There's just ink in some places and papers ripped out from the journal. He's still writing furiously.
While I'm doing this, was there any other characters that had stuff that needed to be checked?
Yes, but he wouldn't bring it up right now.
The skill bonus, by the way, Unan would find out that it is spellcraft.
Fantastic.
I could have made it knowledge religion, but nah.
And then also food.
Yay, food. Did Taurus get any copies of books while he was at the library? Since that service was available?
No copies of books.
I guess I don't have to worry about 1 silver per page copying thing.
No.
I don't know why I remember the cost of per page to copy it, but not the gender of the person that you guys first met there.
Mm.
Oh wait, I know why. I'm a numbers person.
So you need to assign a number value to traits like gender.
I mean, that could help, but then I would have to be like, your gender is 2. I don't know what that means, but it's 2.
Your gender is 2. No, if that's
That could make it more confusing because I'd see women as 0 and men as 1. Binary. Also a slight sexual organs joke.
So sex is just the power button?
Jared, I was going to bring that up.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I can't remember when I learned that that symbol is because of 1 and 0.
The power button IO?
I learned that today.
If I remember correctly, the IO thing is supposed to represent a switch being opened and closed.
Yep. I know that because my uncle, well, not actually my uncle, but we always called him uncle, always referred to it as the IO switch.
That said, if we also get into computer terms, IO also means input-output. So there's also confusion there, and
Yeah,
then
that's more
there's
what
a
I'm
bunch of
used
other
to,
shit.
is input-output.
Sandeep is going to order a steak.
And Sandeep will have to determine the price of steak, because I don't remember what the price of steak was.
Tangle.
No, it's obviously 1 plat.
Gives you a +1 bonus to strength for a day.
Word steak does not exist on the food and drink page. I'm a little disappointed.
Probably depends on just quality. Is it a 3 silver or is it a 1 gold?
I love the escalation. There's just no in between. It's either a good or a great steak. There is no moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it a banquet styled steak, or is it a poor steak, common steak, good steak?
Priest bottle doesn't deal with middle. They either give you a steak made out of rat or a steak that you would see in a 5-star restaurant. There is no in between.
If we go for rat steak, then it's even cheaper. Apparently the just average priced listing of the word meat is 3 silver. So steak would probably fall under the word meat.
Yeah, probably.
But keep in mind, that is not a meal, that is meat. That does not come with a meal. That is the meal itself, the meat.
So then, yeah, steak meal would probably be 6 silver.
Well, in that case, then, Marcus, we're also going to have to ask, is it a port meal, common meal, good meal, banquet type meal, or what kind of meal?
Yes.
I will do a good meal and pay 8 silver.
Works for me. Granted, a good meal also brings in beef. So, the beef could be a steak? I don't know. Food pricing in Pathfinder. In D&D in general is just not well laid out.
What did you have? Food. What kind of food? Good food.
Yeah.
Common food.
And it's like, I get it. They didn't want to have to think about pricing every single item in the world, if ever. But, come on, like steak meal, a chicken meal, stuff like that should be at least given a price for. Or at least some sort of, like, idea of a price.
Now I'm just picturing a Paizo branded cookbook.
They should have one, honestly. They really should.
Well, I mean, with some of their merchant books, it's not out of the ordinary.
That said, if such tables for a steak existed, it would also exist on the page that I'm looking at, which does not have that information on it, so it does not exist.
Steak hasn't existed yet. Jared, your character needs to create it.
No, steak exists. The price for steak does not exist.
Yeah.
8 silver sounds good, though. Anyone else doing things? Besides food, and making me question whether or not it's 8 silver, 3 silver, 100 gold, who knows?
Going to bed.
Alright, Tara's is done reading, probably bored out of his mind, had food, or whatever, went to bed. Sundeep is having food, after having to haggle with the bartender about what the hell the price is actually going to be. Carnum's dealing with paper still?
Yeah, and he's actually going to quote unquote forget to eat. So.
Because spoon?
No, because he was too focused on what he was doing.
Okay.
And just completely fucking skipped it.
Then, out of curiosity, Sandeep and Karnam, after you guys have, eaten, you guys are going to bed?
Yes.
I will go to my room, do some stretches, and then go to bed.
Alright, what about Kaz and Unan?
Same. After eating, just bed.
Yep, he's gonna follow.
And I assume you guys have had some idle
sleep.
chatter between each other? Oh, except for maybe Karnam.
I'll probably
Yeah,
throw out
nothing
like a
too
word
big.
or two here and there, but... What are you doing? Things. Well, I mean, I want something more descriptive. Hold on.
I might mention how sticky smoke is very distracting.
That wouldn't have bothered Kaz that much, would it?
Oh, no, it would've. It's sticky, resinous fucking smoke, Date. It may not have, like, gotten on your lungs or anything, but it was getting on your skin and everything else.
Ugh.
Courtesy of a dwarf named Rob Jornt.
I would also imagine it's still smoke, so
No,
it still
Robert.
smells like smoke, and you have a weakness to smell.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it, I just didn't say it.
So yeah, no, that smoke you still would have been affected by. Speaking of, by the way, Thindrar, Rob Jornt, and Zoan do enter the priest bottle. I mean, you guys are said that you're going out to bed, but they are there. Is there nothing else then?
I don't think so.
Alright, well, it has become the dawn of the eighth day? 8th day.
8th.
I wanted to say 7th for a moment. I'm like, wait, no, we just did the 7th. Right? Dawn of the 8th day has dawned. Let's not have everyone wake up together now.
We'll all sleep in. Just kidding. Kaz is up early in the morning, just like normal. It's part of his routine. He goes down to gather breakfast. Maybe some milk today rather than tea.
I will wake up fairly early, so I might be like second or third down.
Yeah, I'll go grab like a 2 silver meal. So just something really cheap.
A 2 silver meal? A 2
Yeah,
silver
I
meal
guess
doesn't
that's-
exist.
It's just bread.
It's 1, 3,
It's
and 5.
bread and water.
Oh, you want bread? Then a half pound of bread's 2 copper.
Oh, well, let's just do the 3 then.
3 silver?
Yes.
Or a common meal. Got it.
3 pounds of
The
bread.
3 bread.
A
I
common
would get
meal.
bread and coffee.
Okay, well, 2 copper for the bread. Coffee. What kind of coffee? Common coffee, exotic coffee, desert coffee? Dragon's
Ooh,
Blend
desert
coffee?
coffee sounds good.
Hybrid coffee? Or how about marching coffee?
I don't think I need marching coffee.
I don't even know what does.
How much is desert coffee?
Desert coffee is... Oh, come on, why do you not tell me the price of the fucking item down in the goddamn description, but you have it in the goddamn table?
I always love that.
2 copper. Or half a pound of desert coffee. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
That would probably be the price for bulk, so I don't know what to be retail.
Well, I mean, the description of desert coffee is served with generous helpings of milk, sugar, and spices to counteract its natural bitterness. This beverage is drunk throughout the day, both at home and at coffee houses. The grounds left in the bottom of the cup are sometimes used for fortune telling.
I am not a morning person, as Darius will groggily head downstairs and sit at the table with everyone.
Would Taurus like some marching coffee?
If it's made and ready to drink, yes.
Marching coffee, by the way, costs a gold.
Take my money.
Tomato.
Alright, well, marching coffee is notable for its acidity and smooth flavor, and by drinking 2 cups of that coffee, you can walk for an additional hour before you must make a forced march. This additional hour counts as an hour marching beyond the maximum for the purpose of determining the DC of con checks for a subsequent forced march. You can benefit from this coffee only once per day.
Okay.
I mean, you could also go for hybrid coffee, which also costs a gold. Gives you a different bonus.
Sure, that one.
Okay, well, hybrid coffee is a bitter coffee cultivar that increases the drinker's alertness to nearby threats. For 1 hour after drinking 2 cups of hybrid coffee, you gain a +2 competence bonus on perception checks to notice a creature that is using stealth.
Do we have something that does the opposite of that?
Well, let's see. None of you are halflings. Which case, no. Not in food and stuff.
Damn.
If you guys were a halfling, there is something. If one of you guys wanted to drink medicinal tonic.
Ew. Why? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Salute.
So Taurus is having coffee. Hybrid coffee.
Yep.
Sandeep was having stuff. What's everyone else having?
Unan's gonna ask the bartender. So I'm gonna partake in the diplomacy haggling competition and some spellcraft. Do you have any food that puts a pep in your step that might help out with it?
Yes, but it's 300 gold.
No, it's not what it was last time.
Well,
Basically,
Price in demand.
he's referring to the I don't even remember what the spell was anymore. That food that they had last time, they gave a boost to Int.
yeah, I don't remember what the food was called.
Bountiful Feast or something.
No.
Feast of the Bounds?
No.
I remember Fox Cunning for wisdom, but that's not intelligence. Unless it was both, but I don't think it was.
No. The bartender responds with, well, no, nothing like that that I can think of, but we do have something similarly named to haggling. We have haggis.
Una goes, you know what? I'll just coffee, egg, toast, sausage, bacon. The
Coffee,
standard.
So a meal. 3 silver
Yeah.
meal. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm apparently having 15 pounds of bread.
Jesus.
Wait, did you calculate
You
how
said-
much bread you would buy if you bought 3 silvers worth of bread?
I mean, you said it was like 2 silver a pound, right?
2 copper per half pound.
Oh,
Also-
wow. Okay, sorry. 30 pounds of bread.
Lamb, remember, Kelp changed the transfer rate.
I know. I'm not counting for that one, though.
It's 3 silver is how much you bought?
Yeah. So it'd be
You bought
300 pounds of bread?
You bought 37 and a half pounds of bread with 3 silver.
Yeah.
Just to know, you did not actually buy that much bread.
No.
I can't even visualize 37.5 pounds of bread.
Part of that is probably because most people don't know what the fuck even a half a pound of bread looks like. They know what bread looks like. They know what half a pound might be in some cases, but they don't know what half a pound of bread is. There is no visual for that.
And that can also, like, depend on the type of bread.
I'd imagine some sort of flatbread. Something basic.
So, in other words, I have 37 pounds of pancakes.
Well, and even with that, Pathfinder classifies a half a pound of bread to be 1 loaf. Which I'm not sure that's even true. But it doesn't matter. Moving on. Cardam's having a shit ton of bread. What's going on with Athos? Is Athos partaking in anything?
She doesn't eat.
Doesn't eat. Right. Doesn't mean she won't try. Maybe she wants to
Damn
be
it,
real too.
No, she's good. She eats in the other plane.
Damn it, Al. Stop shoving bread in your armor.
Oh, if you're wondering, Thyndrar and the other 2 are not there in the morning. Alright, well, any roleplay going on then?
Oh, yeah. So, I got this ring yesterday. Can someone, like, tell me what it does?
Yeah, of course I can.
I was kind
Unan
of
does
running
his
out
thing.
the door trying to pick something up.
Well, Unan does his thing, finds out that it is a faint transmutation aura on the ring, eventually determining that it is a ring of key mastery.
What does it do?
I think it extends my key pool by 1?
Kind of? Not quite.
Oh, key mastery. Man, my brain went a different direction. Key as in jingle jingle key.
Okay, EY?
I actually
like,
thought that too, and it's like, why am I getting a lock-picking ring for a monk guild?
Keyblade.
Unan does his thing, hands it back to you and goes, well, it's got a faint transmutation aura, and it looks like what's going on with it is it's got some sort of connection to key. From my knowledge, what it does is allows you to store your key in it, and then your key stays in it, and then you can use the key from it. As long as you've got key in it, it's supposed to make you better at defending yourself, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, okay, with that I can probably figure it out.
Oh, and if you put more key in it, nope, Unan probably wouldn't know that, so never mind. As a player, I barely understand it, so I don't even know how to word it, so yeah.
Basically, I can use my special abilities for cheaper.
Yeah. But Unan has no understanding, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. He told you what he understands.
Alright.
And looking
Well,
up
it sounds
on
like I should probably keep that then.
looking it up on a cooking thing, Kelb, apparently 1 pound is 1 loaf. About 18 slices.
Okay, but that still really depends on the type of bread, because I don't know if anyone's ever made bread before, but you can make it very weird and different from batch to batch. There's also a lot of different types of bread.
It looks like they're talking about white bread.
Okay, but are we talking about enriched white bread, or are we talking about... What kind of white bread? You know how many different types of white bread there are?
It doesn't
Bread's
really
so
say
white it can't jump.
soft, stale, any of it. I don't know. Anyway,
Any other roleplay going on?
doesn't sound like it. So once I give the ring back, get done eating, I guess heading off to whatever the first one is, which I assume you'd want to have be the haggling, maybe? Or at least for the 3 of us.
Carlos is gonna finish up his morning food and then turn to Unan and be like, so, what competitions are you partaking in today?
Spellcraft and diplomacy.
Is there anybody else joining us for that?
I'll be at diplomacy. Or haggling. That's in the market, right?
Okay, but 3 of you actually want to do the haggling stuff? So, climbing would have to be done first.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to do the haggling first, in which case, that's fine.
No matter. If we do the climbing first and whatever, I think me and Tate are the only ones doing the magic one, so while they're technically doing that one, we would be able to do that. We would be able to do that one.
You just said a lot of that ones. What?
Me and Tate would be able to do the magic one, because I think we're the only two doing spellcraft, while the others are doing their other competitions.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and Tay could do the spellcraft one, which leaves Jared and Lamb doing the climbing one, and Noah doing knowledge history.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you guys are doing the Hegel one first, then Lamb and Noah would be doing the stealth one first. I'll leave it up to you guys.
I'm good with the first option.
Yeah, we could do the climbing first.
Alright. Which means, Cardamom and Sandeep would have to be heading off to the Monks Guild, Marcus, Unan, and Kaz would be heading off to the town square? Yeah. And Taurus would also be heading off to the town square, but for the, fucking town hall?
Post office.
Yeah. Town hall, post office area.
I mean, if you guys wanted to roleplay a bit for that, then go for it. Otherwise, I see you guys kind of already started taking off.
I'm just gonna be spouting to myself under my breath all the history that I've read out of those books over and repeat it to me on the way there. Loud enough where someone could hear if they really wanted to.
And think you're a crazy person.
He just fucking fried his brain with studying.
Horace, are you okay?
I just keep muttering as I go.
A good 40 people on the street also notice you, by the way, muttering to yourself, and they purposely walk out of your way, thinking that you're a crazy person and it might be contagious.
Part of me just wants to be like, he's fine, it's only dangerous if he starts laughing. Proceeds to start laughing.
Hurt. Hurt.
Feel free to move your pieces, by the way, as chatting goes on. So, anything being said, by the way, between Carl and Sandeep?
Sounds like a no.
Actually, I was about to say something.
Okay.
So, we ended up getting horses because these competitions seem to be grouped together with rewards. Do you think the Monk Guild has something?
I wouldn't know. I've earned a few things because of consequent competitions, but I don't know. I figure if they're grouped up, we'll find out if we actually continue winning. If not, then oh well.
Player knowledge? There is.
Are you going to be at the acrobatics tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'd have to look over the sheet again, but I think I was going to be doing that as well, so I guess it just gives us more chances.
It's called Swift Jumps, if you're wondering.
Either way, this should be interesting.
Well, after that other climb, I'm not so sure. But then again, who knows?
Which other climb?
There was one out in the main square a couple of days ago.
I've been on day 5, specifically.
Yeah, I knew it was either 5 or 6 because I couldn't see it on, or 4 or 5 because it wasn't on the remaining events.
Oh, and by chance, if you're wondering what the reward was for that climb, it was a Vermin Bane Lantern Staff.
What? Hello, Jax.
What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Lantern staff of beating things.
I mean, to be fair, the way I
yeah.
spelled it was Natern Staff. Is apparently a type of lantern. Well, any other conversation happening between Karnam and Sandeep as they make their way to the Monks Guild?
Don't think so.
What about with Crazy Taurus and Unan and Kaz? And, well, Athos.
Just hear him going, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived over and over again.
Wow. Okay, Henry.
Probably not.
What happened?
Kelb asked if any of us were talking to one another. Are we all going to the town square?
Yeah. It's just Taurus will be going
Yeah.
a bit further than you guys as he goes to the post office instead of the west side of the portal.
Well, I was mainly referring to WoW, Henry. What was that about?
Was it Henry the 8th? Had like 12 wives or something.
Oh.
One after the other. Pretty sure that's what Jared was going for.
Yeah.
And he had 6 marriages, by the way.
Really? Only 6?
6 marriages.
But even then, back in that day and
Hence
age, that wasn't a thing.
Hence the phrase being 3 statements. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived.
Sorry, sir. What idiom did you just use?
Incidentally, by the way, 3 of his marriages were to a person named Catherine. His first and his last 2 were to people named Catherine.
He felt bad about killing the first one.
No,
Well, you
the
know
first
what
one
they say.
just was divorced.
Well, you know what they say.
He felt bad about not
Curiosity.
killing the first one.
You know what they say. Curiosity
No.
killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Okay, well, he was probably King Henry was curious.
No, he wanted sons.
I wonder which Catherine's better.
Regardless, y'all make it to your respective locations. Tars enters the post office town hall building, and unsurprising to him, he finds yet another sign, pointing in the same direction as the last two.
He stops muttering at this point and follows the sign.
Does he stop muttering after noticing the sign, or after he walks into the building?
Noticing the sign.
Okay, well, the person behind the counter kind of gives you a look like, you alright?
I was just repeating a bunch of the stuff I learned about the history recently.
They kind of do that, okay then. And they go back to their work.
I go back to following the signs.
All two of them, I think. One pointing you through the doorway, the other one pointing you down to the end of the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's probably a third one actually by the door saying, hey, this is actually the place. Enter this door.
Walk up to the door, open it, and assume I'm taking my seat for another written test.
You would be correct. And the same persons behind the desk from the library and some other familiar faces from the previous competitions are there as well. After you take a seat, and a minute or two goes by, the guy behind the desk kind of calls out to you and goes, hey Taurus, where's your friend?
I think he was busy with something else today, I guess.
Yeah, I see. Well, hopefully you're able to win the test today.
I can try my best.
And just like before with the other tests, a few minutes go by, yet more. A few minutes go by, yet some more. And goes, well, alright, looks like that's everyone here. Yet again, seems to be another small competition, but oh well, what can you do? I'd probably get more people here if we announced on what the bonus prize was for winning multiple of these tests, but it's fun to keep it a secret. That said, shall we begin? It'll be a written test just like before, and well, just some of you will actually know your history about the culture here than anywhere else. I assume everyone in the room agrees, like, yeah, you know, let's begin the test, or something along those lines. Silently nods, whatever. Test is handed out, and they say to begin. So, Noah, I'm going to need you to roll me 5 knowledge history checks, and just give me the total.
Okay. What is or did I get a bonus from studying?
That is something you will not know yet. That's, what is your bonus knowledge history at the moment?
4.
And what'd you get for your total?
56? Wait. 76. I almost didn't add the fucking +4.
I was gonna say, that seemed awfully low even for you. Well, to answer your question, yes, it did indeed help. And that actually gave you first place overall, if you're wondering.
Yay!
So, some of the things that you have read, by the way, about the history during yesterday's Tidal Wave Library reading event, self-imposed reading event, if you will, is that the Central Island used to be a major battlefield, considering it is in the central of 3 main continents, and is quite a bit of a large land mass itself. Land force? I'm playing me watching too many physics videos recently and talking about force and mass and... but yeah, it used to be a heavily war-torn location until some of the more third-party neutral people from around the world kind of got tired of it and decided to actually claim it as their own, not only to protect the land itself, but also the world tree that exists on the center of the island, which the island itself is named after, and is also the reason why this place is no longer used for war because of, well, long-time diplomacy standings between all the other nations, except for the Fire Nation. Sorry, I had to make that down there. Fire Nation does not actually exist, by the way, but it sounded good. Anyway, through long-term diplomacy and actually trying to get people to back away from this area for reasons of religion, security, etc. A large amount of training had to be done for security forces to actually ensure that no one thought that they were joking about it. That's part of the reason why the guards are so well trained, why they're technically level 30. But yeah, eventually it became to be what it is known today as the hub of the world, besides also having the world tree. It's also the reason why so many other races are here, doing trade or whatever. They are permitted to exist here without too much worry of a war happening. I'm sure if all three continents waged war on the central one, they would probably win, but that would require cooperation between the three of them, and that's a lot of races to come together. Just destroy the middle island. It's probably not going to happen, but, you know, it could. But yeah...
Well, we destroyed the middle island. Now how do we divvy it up? Fight!
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, Taurus is well-versed in the Central Island's history and how it came to be now. He also has gained some insight on why some of the laws also state not to be casting magic in the middle of the open, as it could be classified as an act of war or, you know, racism against someone else or whatever. Better to avoid conflict than resolve the conflict as it happens, right?
Most of the time.
Well, it's also part of the reason why the guards are so well trained. In the event someone actually wants to try to do something stupid, they essentially are able to intimidate them by just their presence, without actually having to intimidate.
They are the big beefy barbarian of the continent.
Kind of, yeah.